I think of, let's just use George Floyd, career criminal, armed robbery, and yet immortalized as the face, the saint of the world for victimization.
For joining us.
You got walls and a roof.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I start these things sometimes not knowing if I'm actually going to put them out or not, but I have these sort of thought processes going on in my head. And before I do stop, I just wanted to say a massive thank you to all of the new subscribers who have taken the time to subscribe to the channel, to follow, to share, to watch the videos I'm trying to put out. And I hope some would be useful. Some you won't like. I guess it's standard on every channel. I want to do a video one day soon about what makes a successful channel, because I haven't a clue. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk about today. I think what's been playing on my mind is just looking around the world. It feels to me like it's gone mad. I mean, you're getting praise for criminals, vilification for good people, polarization across every spectrum. I think it's important I say at this point that I'm not standing for either side. It's observation. I mean, do I have an opinion? Of course I do. Everyone knows that. Am I putting that opinion across in this video? No, I'm not. Because it's just madness. It's complete madness. It's all I can see. I mean, have we reached our peak madness in the world, or is the world just showing itself for what it really is? That's the question that comes to my mind. Is this the world revealing its true self? I mean, if I take examples, I think of, let's just use George Floyd. Career criminal, armed robbery, and yet immortalized as the face, the saint of the world for victimization. You guys in America, you burnt your cities, you protested in the greatest way for a criminal. It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. And then you've got the opposite of that, the recent assassination of Charlie Kirk. Apologies. He stood for free speech. Whether you agreed with him or whether you didn't is kind of irrelevant. He wanted to engage in a conversation, a debate between two differing opinions. And yes, he stood his position staunchly. But I did follow him, by the way. And he was very staunch. I can understand why some people get frustrated, because when you're losing an argument in words, which most of the people were, that generates anger because they can't debate. So therefore, what's the alternative? Well, you can see what the alternative was. This doesn't make sense. There's been no riots. There's been no burning of cities for somebody with far greater morals than George Floyd. Please stick in the comments. I genuinely do not understand why those reactions are so diverse for such different people, different places where they stand. One generates violence, the other not. Weird. I mean, why do some narratives elevate deeply flawed people and others demonize people simply for having a different point of view or a different opinion? I mean, one thing I don't want to do is this video is not about George Floyd or Charlie Kirk. I keep saying Kirk. It's actually more about the state of the world, the whole world. Look at Gaza. There's a war in Gaza between Gaza and Israel. And as I said to you very clearly, I'm not taking a particular side on this. Do I have the opinion? Of course I do, but that's not the point of this conversation. Let's look alternatively at Ukraine, the Ukraine-Russia war. What's that? A stalemate? Hundreds of thousands perhaps losing lives? For what? A geopolitical tug of war between NATO and Russia? Is that not what it is? And in between all of that, innocent people die because of the political elite. Where's the sense? Where's the sense? And then let's expand our considerations for the unrest in Europe over illegal immigration, the unrest in Britain is for illegal immigration, and the massive rising cost of living. People, I think, seem to me to have just had enough. And I think the one thing that stands out to me, it's not even about a conversation. This is what is frustrating. You have to take a side. There is no in between. There's no let's come to the table. Let's discuss what this is about. How can we find a solution? No, The world is saying you must stand on this side or you must stand on that side. There's nothing in between, and that's just madness. And let's look at social media, the echo chamber, shall we call it. I mean, algorithms reward outrage, not reason. That's a fact. You know, people only consume content that matches their side of the story. That they will not look at the other side. They are looking for confirmation of what their beliefs. They have their beliefs and then they look for the content that actually satisfies that belief. And therefore, don't take the opposite view. I mean, I had a conversation about my channel, nothing to do with politics or anything like that. And someone said, why do you watch these other channels that you really don't like? And I said, you've got to understand what the other people are doing. Because if you understand what the other people are doing, you come from a position of knowledge of both sides. I think it's insular for me as my channel just to look at myself and think how wonderful and great I am, which I'm not, by the way. But I think it's insular not to consider what makes other channels succeed. When you're doing market research, what do you look at? You look at your competitors. But yet, content we're viewing, generally speaking, is just about what people want to find content to suit their own needs, their own position, their own political opinion, their own whatever. The truth is, outrage spreads faster than truth. And that in turn creates the hero-villain type narrative. And the truth is, that actually oversimplifies reality. And you need to think about that fact. There's something about human nature at the moment that's pushing itself towards an extreme. It has to be an extreme. There can't be a middle ground. You've got the far left, the far right, and where's the center? Where's the center? They're gone. I mean, we glorify martyrs. I mean, people want a symbol of struggle, even if the reality is messy. And why do we attack dissenting voices? I mean, I would say difference feels threatening when society is fragile, like it certainly appears to be around the world at the moment. I mean, I think people prefer simple emotional stories to complex truths. I honestly do think that's the case. So the overall thought in my thought process is, where is this going? Where does it lead us to? I reckon rising division between East and West, left and right, rich or poor. And then I think, you know, what are the possible consequences? And not possible consequences, we're actually seeing these consequences. More protests, more censorship, and more violence. Or perhaps a breaking point where societies are forced to reconsider dialogue. I think in closing, I want to make it very clear, I don't stand on either side of this argument. This is just my thought process of the logical approach to what I'm seeing. But I'll tell you one thing I do see here is I just see a world who's not thinking. There's no logic being applied, no intellectual conversation thinking about the facts. It's all emotional response. It's a world to me that confuses symbols for solutions and outrage for progress. So let me ask you this. If this is where we are today, where does it take us tomorrow? Guys, thanks so much for listening to my random commentary about what I'm seeing, and I hope I have put this up. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'll just have a look and see what I think. But thanks again, guys. Please subscribe, like, share the algorithm. We'll try not to push too much outrage. Hope you guys have a great day. Take care.